Hi, welcome back to the plot. This week's video is a video with a difference because it's been half term and we've actually been away. We were supposed to go away for 5 nights. We ended up going back after 2 because our youngest, who is autistic with complex needs, she's non-verbal, she doesn't eat very much. She'll go days without food, but she does drink, and she drinks milk, and that's all she drinks. And while we were away, she stopped drinking, and she was very stressed out and dysregulated, and then she started peeling the wallpaper off the caravan walls. So we had to come home, sadly, but we did have a lovely time during the daytime when we were there. But my children don't sleep, and when my youngest is upset, she makes a lot of noise, and when you're on a caravan site, it's not so easy. I know a few of you are caravanners, as you've mentioned it in the past. So for those of you who are, I'll show you our caravan. It is a Coachman Vision 580. It's 5-berth. It's a lovely caravan. It has rear bunks and a side dinette. And we have a Daytona, Dorima Daytona awning, full awning. And our tow car is a Kia Sportage, 2018 GT line 2-litre all-wheel drive in some order or other. And we love it. We got it because we can't take our kids on holiday in the typical fashion. We couldn't hire someone else's property. Our youngest has an eating disorder called pica, which means she eats walls, inedible things basically, and she picks the plaster off walls, eats wallpaper. That's why she was peeling the caravan walls. And we couldn't go to somebody else's property. I mean, obviously it's very, very bad for her, and our priority is to stop her doing it for her health, but also to not damage other people's properties as well. And we couldn't go to a hotel because neither of my children sleep, and my youngest will have meltdowns through the night and scream, and it's just not fair to anybody, and it's certainly not a holiday. So we got a caravan. We've been very lucky to be able to get a caravan, and it's not quite gone how we hoped it would, but we persevere because she does enjoy it. She does want to be there. I think it's just when you get 4 neurodivergent people in a tin box, it gets a bit, yeah. Anyway, we did have a lovely time, and I've got a little bit of footage because we had a few nice, Sienna and I, my oldest, we had a few nice little evening walks around the site, and there's some lovely parts of it, so I'll share that with you. We stopped by a plant seller. There was somebody on the entrance to the caravan site selling plants to raise money for a special school, which, given that we are trying to secure our daughter a place at a specialist provision, it was something we were very happy to support. And also, I'm always happy to buy plants, as you know. Didn't need them, definitely didn't need them, but we picked up a couple of Nepetas, 2 Iceland poppies. I think they're Iceland poppies, a scabious and a heuchera. So yes, Sienna chose the scabious and the heuchera. And and then we went to visit Burton Agnes Hall, which is not far from Bridlington. It's a lovely place. Well recommend it. It is. There's some beautiful gardens. We've never been in the hall because I just think that's not a good idea yet. Maybe when they're older. But they have a woodland walk, and when you're walking around the woodland walk, you can see some hand-carved cats that a local gentleman made for the hall, and you can do a little search for them, and they all have different markings, and it's really fun to search for them in the woodland. And then there's a really lovely adventure playground that my youngest loves. So my oldest loves searching for the cats, and my youngest loves the swing. Swing, that's one word she can say, swing. So we had a really nice time, and I'll show you the lovely gardens and the lovely scenery of the east coast of Yorkshire. Sienna and I are just having an evening walk, aren't we?
Yeah.
Just, it's a lovely day. It's been 30 degrees today and it's cooled down quite a bit, but it's still about 24, something like that. No, not there. But we are on the beautiful East Yorkshire coast. This is actually just within the site that we're on at the moment. This is actually the dog walking park. There's lots of wildflowers in there. Beautiful hawthorn.
I've been in there like 5 times.
You haven't, yeah?
Last time we came to it.
Yeah. Right, so back to today. I've got so much to plant out. Look at these beans. There's beans, there's a few leeks, some onions, there's some cosmos. So I'm going to start with the beans, I think, because they're going to be the hardest job. And it is a bit warm and a bit humid. So these might wear me out a little bit. And I've got cucumbers up with me today. I've got some more tomatoes to get in the ground. And I've got some dwarf beans as well. So there's lots to do. So off we go. I don't know where the time has gone today. I've hardly got anything done. I've literally got the beans in the ground. And it's time to go pick the kids up already. So, yeah. Time flies when you're untangling beans. So I'll have to come back tomorrow and finish the jobs I've got and the video. You can tell it's been very dry while I've been away. My dad's watered, but you can tell some of the things are struggling a little bit. The courgettes are yellowing a little bit, as are the Canadian wonder beans. The peas are not growing, and they've got pods on now. So the peas, there's no point to them. I think I should probably get them out. See, I could grow the sweet peas up the arches now, but I probably won't bother. Like I said, they're as tangled as the beans. And I can be bothered for the beans, but because we've got sweet peas at home, I'm not going to bother with the sweet peas here. But yeah, the courgettes are yellowing, but my courgettes at home, which are zucchini and Firenze, they've all germinated now except two. One of each variety hasn't. So I'm going to have I think I've got another 6 courgette plants. And my cucumbers have germinated. So I've got Fem Spot that I bought, and I've got Carmen that I have sown myself. And they all took, because I didn't put them on a heat mat. I didn't even have them in the house. I just had them in the greenhouse. And so they've taken a few weeks to germinate, but they have come up, and they're catching up really well now. So yeah, my brassicas, I've given them a bit of chance to pick up after they've been picked apart by the pigeons, but to be honest, I didn't expect them to do much, and they haven't. So I'm going to clear those beds out, and I have got lots of swede, Gowrie, the variety. I like the variety because it's a good club resistant one, and also it doesn't get woody. So if you sow a load and plant them all out together, you can harvest them gradually early on when they're small, and then leave them later and harvest them when they're larger, and they don't get woody. So they're good. There's a good variety. Yeah, so just have a minute's peace before I go back to the chaos. Broadbean's looking good. They're looking pretty good. It's all good, really. Can't complain anyway. Good morning. It's Monday morning. It's just after 9 a.m. and I am having a much needed coffee in the greenhouse after a very stressful first school run back after the holidays. No one wanted to go back to school today. In fact, if they hadn't have gone, I think I would have gone. It's one of us, somebody was going back to school. And yes, anyway, it's much cooler today, and we are forecast rain all day. So I think that is the perfect opportunity for me to get some garden jobs done. I'll just get my cagoule on. I'll just get my cagoule on if it rains, and my wellies. It'll be fine. I feel like it's quite cool now, but I'm still got that school run internal heat that we get. So over the last few days, I've done a few little garden jobs that needed to get done. I needed to get some of the self seeders out the other day, so I took my trusty Hori Hori and I took out hundreds of rose campion seedlings. And I have potted about 13 of them on. I don't know why 13, I don't particularly like that number. 12 would have been a better number, but there was one left over from the little clump I was doing. And so I got those out. So I did those. I potted on, I did quite a bit of potting on before we went away because I was expecting to be away 5 days. So I potted on the Erigeron Kavinscienus. I don't think the larkspur that was doing so well before is going to amount to much now. Yeah, it's got some buds on it though. Well, one of them has. I don't. Yeah, I don't think we're going to bother with those. We'll let them do what they do. We've got plenty of other plants like Coreopsis. They're still in pots and they're in bud now. These have done really well. So I'm going to be dotting these around. I took some to the allotment yesterday. I am going to go to the allotment in a few minutes and get some planting out done. I'm going to take you with me. But one of the jobs I really want to get done is organise this greenhouse. As you can see, the tomatoes are really filling out in the back. And I have got cucumbers, that are in big pots now. These are all snack varieties. There's 3 different varieties. This is Tiny Tot, and we have got, what else have we got? We've got Mini Pissandra, I've got 2 of those. And then, oh, don't tell me I haven't put the label in. What is it now? That's really annoying. I will have the pots. Oh, it's there. Mini Petita. There you go. So, I've got 4 little cucumbers. And we've still got the dwarf tomatoes. We've got 7 of these to pot up as well. They're looking really good. I don't know what pot size to go with for these. So if you do know, I'll take that off there. If you do know and you've grown dwarf tomatoes before, let me know. Because normally I would put them in the size pot that the tomatoes behind me are in, which I don't know what size they are. But they're a good size. So, but if they're a dwarf tomato, do they need as much space? Yeah, this is the cucumber pot is the size that I would normally put them in. So, and I don't have many left. I've only got 2 of those. I do have some at the allotment I can bring up though, but I kind of want matchy matchy. You know, at home I like matchy matchy, but I'm not going buying anymore, so it's not going to be matchy matchy. Oh, and I've also got, and actually the jalapenos can probably go in those pots. 2 jalapeno chilies that are, I think they're still fine in these pots, to be honest. Let's have a look. Ooh. Yeah, we could pot them on, but we could also leave them for another week. So, yeah, I think one thing I need to do, because I've got so many perennials in here, like Rubina venariensis and delphiniums and geums and coreopsis and all the rest of it. I've still got Shasta daisies and rocking robin to pot on, actually. I really need to do that as well. I'm starting to think whether I should. No, I don't want to sack the allotment off today. No, I do need to go because I left some of the. I left the Swedes out and I forgot to water them and I noticed they were looking a little bit dry. So, I mean, they're going to get rained on because they're outside, but still, yeah, I need to go. There's just so many things I want to get done today. Because tomorrow I need to go food shopping. That's joyful, isn't it? So, yeah, you know, I'm just looking at Lady of the Lake now. Some of her buds have opened and the colours, because when the buds open, they're a real peachy colour, peachy pink, and then they fade to almost white, and they look absolutely lovely. The combination of the little tighter packed new flowers and the big blousy open ones. I did take out the yellow alyssum from the garden the other day. I've had a bit of a sort out because it was getting a bit big and woody, and so I've ordered some. I've had them delivered now as well. Some seeds to sow some new ones, so I'm going to do that this week as well. So I've got some more for next year, and maybe have a couple next year. It's just snowing summer's looking amazing right now. It's in full flower now. Sorry, I just got a phone call then, so I was interrupted. Let's go to the plot and get some of those plants planted out. Right, I'm back on the plot in my very snazzy jumper. I saw it in Vinted and I thought that's my allotment jumper. It's got to be my allotment jumper. So I've just been in the shed and I've got out a load of pots because I was actually going to go buy some new pots for the tomatoes, the dwarf tomatoes at home and stuff. And I just thought, I've got a shed full of stuff. So I've gone in to see what there is. And actually, there's loads of really good, like these pots for the perennials that I want to pot on, because there's a lot of those perennials are not going to be planted out till autumn. And then maybe even given away. So they need to be continually potted on really into more appropriate sized pots. So I've also quite alarmed at the amount of David Austin Rose pots I've got. And they're going to be really useful for things like chilies and stuff. So that's great. So the rain keeps coming and going now. So I'm just going to point you out the door, keep you safe in the dry in the greenhouse, and get some stuff done. I need to mulch some beds, I need to weed them, and I want to get things planted out. So best get on, because there's also jobs I want to get done at home as well today. So exciting garden ones, not boring house ones. Yeah, let's go. So, because there's so many weeds and there's so little time sometimes, I'm just trying to make sure that I keep around the plants themselves more clear. So that's what I'm doing here, but I'm also thinning out the poppies because, well, look how big they've got. And I do want to keep some at the back, definitely, but there are some other things sneaking in between that I do not want either. And yeah, that's good. But the soil is very dry, so things are coming out really quite easily. Um, so yeah, and poppies are easy to weed out because you disturb the root, they die. So yeah, the two marrows are looking good. In fact, they're getting flowers now. The two butternut squash are not good. I very much doubt that either will produce anything this year now. But we'll let them live. We'll let them carry on until we need the space for something else. We've got some bindweed in here as well, which I do want to get at as well. Obviously, when these poppies grow up and they flower, they're going to get crowded out, they're going to fall over because there's so many things in here, and I don't want that, so I just want some nice flowering ones at the back. The new allotment jumper is now surplus to requirements. So we have 2 tomatoes left to put in on my side. Remember, these are my dad's, these are mine. We're not really competing at all because he's growing different varieties to me. There's only Stoner that I'm growing the same variety, and that's because there is leftovers. So everything else he's growing for show, I'm growing for abundance. So different different goals. So I'm going to plant these out. These are Pineapple Pig and Sanitum Sunrise. And then I'm just going to check any side shoots that need doing and tie any in that need tying in. My dad's been tying in a lot anyway. And then we'll get, there's some big side shoots actually. And then we'll get it watered. Now, this is a bit sad, but I don't have space for 2 tomatoes. I only have space for 1. But I have multiples of this Stoner variety, so I am going to have to remove one. So I'm going to remove this one. I couldn't give away the others, so because most people I know have got what they need now. So I'm just going to do a little bit of weeding, just knock these off. Get a lot of the petty spurge in here as well, and we've got quite a few volunteer tomatoes as well. But yes, so this is Sanitum Sunrise, and we put this at the back. This has been the slowest to grow. I'll just put that there. I am going to tie, what my dad usually does is he's done it here, is he labels the cane at the top so that we know what they are. Now, I do think that was a piece of advice given as well recently. Could have been Claire and Kerry. It was Claire and Kerry, but it could have been on So Chatty, or it could have been one of their individual channels. I can't remember now. Claire at the Farmyard Garden and Kerry at Dog on the Plot. So yeah, some good advice over there as well. And it is a good way to do it because it just, when the plants grow up, you can just really easily see. Yeah, I'm sure it was them. I'm sure it was. Right, let's do some side shooting. I'll start from this end and work my way up. I'm not growing any bush variety tomatoes at the allotment this year. The only bush variety tomatoes I'm growing are the little hanging basket ones that I've got in the greenhouse at home. Just going to take some of the lower leaves off as well, because some of these are really in contact with the soil. I don't know if you can hear it, but the rain has well and truly begun now. So I think it's a little too heavy for me to be planting out beans. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. But I'm going to go home and I'm going to get in my greenhouse and start organising in there now. Let's go. Right, so I'm back home, and this is our table of mostly perennials. There's some cosmos that haven't been planted out, a couple of bits, and there's some zinnias. But ultimately, there's a lot of the things that I've grown. There's larkspur that's not doing very well. There's quite a lot of achillea. We've got 3 different types of thalictrums here. I've got delphiniums, I've got penstemons, Verbena bonariensis, we've got Salvia nemrosa caradonna, got another geranium, hardy geranium. We've got some Nepeta. We've got these eryngiums. I've got quite a few, 6 astilbes, Morphalictrum. One of the poppies that I got last week from the seaside. I've got the little scabious that my daughter chose, and the heuchera that Sienna chose as well. Yeah, a few delphiniums, and then I've got all the perennials that are actually in the greenhouse. So I'm going to get those out now and fill this table, because this table's been in use for a few days and I think that's enough now. So let's fill it back up, and that will give me more room for the cucumbers and the tomatoes in the greenhouse. I think it's probably safe to say that I've got enough plants now. Given, the amount of pots I've got in the garden. Look at my dahlias. Dahlias are growing loads there. Roses really need tying into that wall. I really need to get some trellises. Yeah. I think it's safe to say that I do not know where everything's going to go. Let's go look at the front garden. So yeah, it's very full. I hope you can hear me. I'm on the main road and it's breezy. It's very full. But if we look in some places, like down here, we've got quite a lot of weeds that need sorting out. But then I've got Japanese anemones spreading. We've got some weeds. We've got poppies. There's things that can come out. Got an Aquilegia there that could come out of there. Yeah, and down here there's some things that haven't done well. There's some things that are, there's some weeds. So yeah, and then if we lift this rose up, because this rose has completely fallen over, all these Aquilesias can come out as lovely as they were. We'll get more next year. Yeah, there'll be space. There's space. Look at the Alstroemeria. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's collapsed completely because it's so dense. But yeah, so there's room in here. Lots of veg to get out and things. And then there's actually quite a lot of weeds at the back here, and room for things that we could get in, maybe. I'd rather have flowers than weeds. Oh, is that a buttercup? Not a buttercup, a buttercup rose. It's David Austin. It is. Can you see just there? Ooh, it's really floppy, this rose. It's not got many buds on it, but it's very floppy. It really needs. I need an obelisk for that, I think. Same as my. Ooh, let me get out the border. Black ascending. I mean, this is a stunning rose. And actually, this one as well. This didn't flower. Oh, let me walk around the other side. This one is beautiful. This one, I believe, this one is Sceptred Isle, David Austin, and then it was lovely with the Achillea. And then this one, I believe, is Queen of Sweden, and this is far more peachy than I expected. But doesn't it look amazing with the Nepeta? Yeah. But yeah, you can see all the weeds that are down here as well. So that'll be next week's job on next week's video. But I am really loving just how flowery it is. And Gertrude Jekyll has never looked so lovely, but she does need tying in. This one is Generous Gardener, and this one's coming along now as well. This is the most growth they've ever had in a year. It's the most they've ever put on. I think it's their third year. But Gertrude Jekyll smells amazing. Oh yeah. And the Origeron is doing really well in there. I do have some more little plugs to add to it because two of them have only got one plant in each. Yeah. Some of my roses are a little bit later than others. That one there is the Lady's Blush, and that one is just getting its buds on now. But that's okay because that staggers it. Yeah, lovely. I think my new love. Every year I seem to find another plant that I absolutely love, and I think it's Nepeta this year. Catmint. It's just, it's just lovely, and I think I need more. I've got quite a bit here. I've got 5 plants on this table, so maybe I don't need more. Maybe I just need to plant these. I picked up this mirror the other week as well because my youngest loves to look at her own reflection. She is very cute. But she actually speaks a lot when she looks in the mirror. She watches her mouth move, she watches other people's mouth move, and she really sort of explores sounds and mouth shapes when she looks in a mirror. So we thought we'd get this mirror and put it out here. I've put it on this wall. This is a west facing wall. I've put it here so birds don't. I didn't want to put it on the end wall where there's, it's open and exposed over there because I didn't want I didn't want any birds to fly into it basically. So yes, it's there, and I think it's nice. I want to point out, though, if I zoom out a little bit, that I did ask for it to be directly under the hanging basket. So if you don't like a lack of symmetry, as I struggle with the lack of symmetry, you can talk to Mark about that. He reads the comments. Hello. Right, so it's that time of day again. It's 3 p.m. and I've got to go get the kids, and then I'm going to come home and edit this for you and hopefully get this out tonight. So thank you so much for being with me this week. I hope you've enjoyed this week's video. It's been a real pleasure to film and create this week actually, and I'm going to try to stick to this format a little bit. I'm not going to be going away every week, obviously, but I do enjoy longer videos by other people. So I hope you enjoyed this longer video this week. And if you are new, I would love it if you would consider staying around and hit that subscribe button and the bell notification button to be notified the next time I upload. As always, comments are greatly appreciated, as are likes, shares, and hypes. There's so much for you to do these days, isn't there? So thank you so much for being with me, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.